10 fun texting games to play with friends over the phone. You don't need to download apps to play games with friends. Text-based games can provide hours of fun in their own right, either via SMS or a chat app. There are a host of great texting games to play, and in this article we'll help you discover the best out there. Most of these texting games are simple in nature, and they can provide free fun for family and friends alike regardless of your ages or interests. You can even play with anyone you know who still owns a dumbphone. Here are some of the best phone games to play over text. The rise of smartphones has turned mobile gaming into an unstoppable force of nature. Everyone knows the big names such as Angry Birds, Candy Crush Saga, and Pokemon Go, and there are even free mobile games without ads or in-app purchases. Here's our pick of the best mobile games with no ads or in-app purchases, all of which are available on Android and/or iPhone. But what if you don't want to download and install yet another new app on your phone? What if you just want to play a simple game via SMS or your favorite chat app? Thankfully, there are a host of fun texting games you can play instead. And here are the best ones. As a writer, I tell stories for fun. But even non-writers who find it difficult to create worlds, characters, and plots by themselves could gain enjoyment from this simple texting game. With Story Builder, one of you begins the story by texting a sentence to the other. The other person then texts the second sentence in the story back to the first person. Slowly but surely, the two of you build a story over the course of several texts or a messaging thread. Variations include sentences containing a certain number of words or characters, or even sentences with exactly 160 characters in them. Although anyone who used Twitter before the character limit was raised will know how tough that can be. This is the classic 20 questions that originated in the US and spawned both radio and television shows. The concept of this game is elegantly simple, yet it requires a degree of intelligence to succeed at it. One of you thinks of an object or person, while the other fires questions at them via text message. Your yes/no responses help the guesser narrow down the possibilities until they can make an educated guess as to exactly you were thinking of. Variations include limiting the object being thought of to a particular genre. Or, you can decrease the number of questions the guesser can ask. This is the classic I Spy, a game that has been a favorite of families for generations. Surely we have all whiled away a long car journey as a child playing this. And the version played via text or chat is just as much fun. Begin by telling your opponent where you are to at least give them a fighting chance. Then look around your environment until your mind's eye fixes on something in particular. Your opponent then has to guess what it is you have spied, with only the first letter of the object to guess from. Variations include giving clues after each negative response to a wrong guess, or limiting the number of guesses allowed. Assuming you're not exclusively interested in instrumental music, you'll know certain lines from certain songs, whether because of an emotional attachment or simply because they sound good together. Most people have been affected by song lyrics in some way. The song lyrics game plays on that by having one person quote lines from a song to the other via text. The other person then has to guess the song the lyrics are from. It helps if this is played with someone you're close to or who you share similar music tastes with. Variations include classic lines from movies or plots from games. Failure to guess correctly could mean having to phone up and sing the chorus of the song to your opponent. The internet is constantly evolving, making it difficult to keep up with modern slang. Here are some trendy internet words you should know. It's even possible to abbreviate your entire life by describing what you are up to with just the first letters of each word in that description. To play abbreviations, one of you abbreviates what you're up to. For example, in a coffee shop in town becomes IACSIT. And the other sets about trying to unabbreviate your short sentence back to its original form. Be prepared for some rude replies. Variations include giving more than just the first letter of each word. And abbreviating something other than your current activity. Such as what you truly think of the person you are playing against. We all build lists. They detail everything from our chores for the day to our overall aims in life, from what groceries we need to the gadgets we want to buy in the future. When turned into a game, building lists can be a lot of fun, especially by text. List Builder is a competitive game in which each player takes a turn to name something belonging to a particular genre. This could include capital cities, actors from a certain series of movies, or anything else your mind can conjure up. The winner is the last person to successfully add to the list. Variations include going through the alphabet one letter at a time, or requiring the next answer to start with the same letter the last answer ended with. The reason we all carry smartphones is because we're not always at home, which makes this game perfect for playing on mobile devices. With Where Am I? Each player takes it in turn to describe one feature of the surroundings, while the other tries to guess where they are. You can make it as easy or as hard as you like by varying the level of detail you give to your opponent. Variations include limiting it to a house, with the room you're in being the correct answer, or asking which shop in town you are in. You could also change it to Who am I with, and describe the person or people who are there with you instead. You may know kiss, marry, kill as something else. The kiss, for instance, may be a little more intense than just a peck on the cheek. However, the basic concept is the same, and is fun as long as no offense is taken by the answers given. One person names three people, be they celebrities or individuals you both know, and asks the question, kiss, marry, kill. The other then has to determine which of the three they would kiss, which they would marry, and which they would kill. All in jest. You understand. Variations include dropping certain names into the mix you know will upset your friend, or changing the question entirely. As long as there are three choices and three names in the mix. The sky's the limit with this one. If you're prone to daydreaming, you should be familiar with the concept of what if. Once one of these scenarios pops into your brain, you can spend several minutes working out which option you would choose in that scenario, which is perfect fodder for a texting game. One of you texts the other a what if scenario and asks what they would do in that situation. There are no right or wrong answers. It's not only fun to see the responses given, it can also give you an insight into your friend or family member's outlook on life. Variations include leaving the question open-ended with any answer possible, or giving multiple choice answers and forcing the other person to choose from one of those. Quizzes of any kind can be fun, even if they're supposedly testing your IQ, and they don't have to be long, drawn-out affairs with a quiz master asking difficult questions, in the form of a texting game you can play in a chat app. Simple quiz requires one of you to text the other a general knowledge question. The other person then has to try to give the correct answer. Or, if they're a little too dumb for that, the funniest joke answer imaginable. Variations include switching this to a test of web browsing skills as they try to find the answer online in the shortest time possible. These texting games range from the simple to the more complex, but they're all supremely playable between any two or more people with phones in their hands. And it doesn't matter whether that's a smartphone or a feature phone. Reasons to buy a feature phone. Your smartphone has tons of features, and that's a great thing. Sometimes, you just need a basic phone to keep around for emergencies. Let's look at why. with 160 characters at a time, or more if you're using a chat app such as WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger. You can have a fun back and forth between you and a friend or family member. Even your old nan with her original Nokia 3310 can join in the fun. And when you grow tired of these simple chat games, check out these cross-platform mobile multiplayer games to play with friends. These multiplayer phone games are awesome to play with friends and deserve a place on your mobile, no matter what device you use. Text source, makeuseof.com.